Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw. I am Tony Schiavone, here with Trini Kwan and with Corey Graves. And today on Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw, we are going to see, well, we don't, well, we're going to see, I believe we're going to see the TWF Tag Team Win Fighters are going to be here today. Sheamus O'Shaughnessy and Drew McIntyre. Since they won the TWF Tag Team winnings not too long ago by beating Godzilla and Andros. Tony Schiavone says, "Yeah, you're right about that one. That did happen. You know that Drew McIntyre and Sheamus O'Shaughnessy were the ones who ended up beating, Trini Kwan's ended up beating both Godzilla or Gajor or Andros to become the TWF Tag Team Fighters. And some folks wonder, and some folks wonder who their first folks they're going to be fighting with since they became the TWF Tag Team Fighters." Trini Kwan says, "Well, I can tell you one thing," Corey Graves says. "No one's going to say that Sheamus O'Shaughnessy and Drew McIntyre aren't two tough men. They've been in fights for many years. They fought with each other. They fought as a team. They fought against each other," Corey Graves says. "But I don't know what team is going to want to fight Drew McIntyre and Sheamus O'Shaughnessy." Corey Graves says, "Well, here it goes. Drew McIntyre's in the ring now," Tony Schiavone said, "and so is Sheamus O'Shaughnessy." "As you know," Drew McIntyre said, "we are the TWF Tag Team Fighters. And me and my good friend Sheamus O'Shaughnessy over here, we have been the TWF Tag Team Fighters for, I guess, a month. We beat Godzilla and Andros, who held the TWF Tag Team winnings, for some time. And a lot of folks always wonder who are we going to be fighting next? Who are we going to be against next?" Drew McIntyre says. "Well, I got an answer for that," Sheamus O'Shaughnessy says. "I got my guess of who I think it might be. I don't know if there's anyone who thinks they're man enough or woman enough to take the TWF Tag Team winnings away from us. We just might be the only team that might not have anyone who wants to fight us. I mean, who would be crazy enough to take on the two of us?" "Yeah, you're right about that," Sheamus O'Shaughnessy says. Who would be crazy enough to fight the two of us? I mean, if you think of it, whoever would be crazy enough, I would say dumb enough might be also another way, another word of saying it. Drew McIntyre says anyone who would be dumb enough to fight us for the TWF, tag team winnings would also know the bind that they would be themselves put in if they would come after us," Drew McIntyre says. "And I want to know who's going to be the team who's going to face us," Drew McIntyre said. "Oh," Sheamus O'Shaughnessy said, "there might not be no team." "Hey, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus O'Shaughnessy, it's us. It is us. It's me. Angel Garza. And it's me, Andrade Cien. And we think that we would make the greatest TWF Tag Team Fighters. And you have not worry because you're going to be fighting us today on Monday Night Raw or Alone Night Raw. Oh, look at that, Drew McIntyre says. Andrade Cien and Angel Garza think that they're going to, somehow, some way think they're going to beat us for the TWF Tag Team winnings. Oh, this is laughable, Drew McIntyre says. You gotta be earnest, Sheamus O'Shaughnessy says. Andrade Cien, Angel Garza. Look, I have nothing against you, but there's no way you think you're gonna come in and just take our TWF Tag Team winnings off of us. That's not gonna happen. So you can't be the team that we're gonna fight. Well, here's Astronema now. Or Corone. Shit, stand up. And here's Ecliptor now. Alright, Astronema says, the way I look at it is that we got this spine going on. Drew McIntyre, Sheamus O'Shaughnessy. I think that today, Andrade Cien and Angel Garza, they are going to be the men you will wrestle, you will fight against for the TWF Tag Team winnings. And since I am the nearest thing to Adam Pearce and Shawn Michaels and Santino Marella that the TWF has, I say we make it here. That we book Drew McIntyre, Sheamus O'Shaughnessy fighting Andrade Cien and Angel Garza for the TWF Tag Team winnings here today on Monday Night Raw or Alone Night Raw, Astronema says. And the way I look at it, Ecliptor says, you folks are going to have one hell of a match, one hell of a fight. I back you up on that, Astronema. All right, get a fight lore in the ring now, Astronema says. Let's make this match now. And Ecliptor said, we need a fight lore in the ring now. Well, I just knew Astronema was going to come out. She was going to make the match. Corey Graves says, can't go for one day without Astronema or Corone doing something. She's already in a bind. She's already has something bind against The Miz, Corey Graves says. You know what, Tony Schiavone said? You have no truth to back up that she has anything against The Miz, Tony Schiavone says. And if you all think back, Tony Schiavone said, The Miz started saying shit about her. Oh, you're right about that, Trini Kwan said. It was The Miz that started with Astronema Corone. She didn't start it with him. This is for the TWF Tag Team winnings. First, they are the team of Andrade Cien and Angel Garza. And they are the TWF Tag Team fighters, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus O'Shaughnessy. Well, Tony Schiavone said the TWF Tag Team winnings, which go back as early as between 98 YL, with the first team winning them, the first team being Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, the Outsiders, are known as Razor Ramon and Diesel to others. Well, one little sad thing Trini Kwan says, both Razor Ramon 1, Scott Hall, and Razor Ramon 2, Rick Bragger, both of them died. So you only have Diesel, Kevin Nash, and Diesel Glenn Jacobs still around. Trini Kwan said, well, I'll tell you what, Corey Graves says. The TWF Tag Team winnings has come a long way from its early days when 2 WCW Toy Biz dolls won it. Oh, you got that right. Drew McIntyre taking care of Andrade Cien, who in his own right is a former WWE NXT heavyweight fighter and a former WWE 4-1 Rights fighter, Tony Schiavone says. Is the Claymore kick going to come up? Yeah! It just happened, Tony Schiavone says. Oh, this is a mismatch. This is unfair, Corey Graves says. Andrade Cien brings in Angel Garza. And now, Drew McIntyre brings in Sheamus O'Shaughnessy. Tony Schiavone said, a bro kick. And down goes Sheamus, down goes Angel Garza. 1, 2, oh, Andrade Cien broke it up. But Drew McIntyre just kicked him and then threw him out of the ring. Let's see if we can do that again. Here we go. White loudness. Bro kick. Tony Schiavone says, will Sheamus O'Shaughnessy and Drew McIntyre still be the TWF Tag Team Fighters? Trini Kwan says, well, the way they're behaving, the way they're wrestling, the way they're fighting, Corey Graves said, I'd say no. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner. Oh, bro kick. Oh. Claymore kick. Oh. The Claymore kick on Andrade Cien. The bro kick on Angel Garza. Tony Schiavone said, what's that all about? Corey Graves said, why did one have to kick Andrade Cien and the other one kick Angel Garza? Corey Graves said, I don't know, Trini Kwan said. Because they're both heels. Stopping one from striking the other one's teammate. Your guess is good as mine, Trini Kwan says. Why he did what he did. Trini Kwan said. Well, Tony Schiavone said, at the end of the day, Angel Garza and Andrade Cien and Angel Garza are heels. Drew McIntyre keeping Sheamus O'Shaughnessy well from stopping one from striking the other. Drew McIntyre helping Sheamus O'Shaughnessy out, and Sheamus O'Shaughnessy helping Drew McIntyre out, keeping each other's teammate well from the other teammates of the other team. Tony Schiavone says, I don't see anything wrong with that. Well, I can tell you what, Corey Graves says, it always seems to be one-sided. When the heel does something, it's wrong. But when the good doer does something, oh, it's right. It's right. It's fair. It's holy. It's eldal. Well, you don't have to go that far, Tony Schiavone says, to say all those things. But we do know one thing. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus O'Shaughnessy are still the TWF Tag Team Fighters. They beat Andrade Cien and Angel Garza, Tony Schiavone said. Yes, they did, Trini Kwan said. You can scave them, shame them, guilt them, slight them all you want, Corey Graves. But they're still the TWF Tag Team Fighters, Trini Kwan said. You know, Corey Graves said, it's so sad when heels do things, when the good doers do things, and everybody sees it as right. When an evildoer does something, no, it's seen as wrong. Tony Schiavone said that's skilled wrestling. The good doers do the right things, do good things, and the wrong doers or evil doers do evil things, or bad things, or wrong things. Corey Graves. And now Renee Young is now going to be talking. Now Renee Young is now going to be talking with The Miz. Shit. Shit. No. Shit. Is now going to be talking with The Miz now. Alright, Tony Schiavone, I'm going to be talking with The Miz here today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Night Raw. Miz, what do you want? What are you here for? First off, Renee Young, for a week, Astronema, Corone, whatever you want to call her, has been bullying me, picking on me. She's been shaming me, guilting me, and scathing me. How so? She set me up in a match with Ecliptor. Then she had me wrestle her brother Andros. Then she had me wrestle her foster brother Godzilla or Godzilla. And who knows who she's gonna have me wrestle next? Another one of her friends or kin or something? You know, Astronomer gave me this big speech about Onlook many weeks back. And she has no right to speak about Onlook. She never gave Onlook to anyone. I have given Onlook to others. I have worked hard to be a wrestler, a show player. I worked hard to be a husband, a father. I worked hard for everything I got. And I give Onlook to those who give me Onlook. Astronomer is angry at me because she wishes she was as good as I am as a wrestler. She wishes she was good as me as a show player. She wishes she had a good house. She wishes her kin was as good as my kin. Well, now it's starting now. You seem to be more like you're angry at her. You seem to be behaving as if she's angry at you for all the things that you have. But did you ever stop to think, Ms., that need be, I don't think some folks don't really care if you're a wrestler or a show player. If you got a house or not, you know? So, Renee Young, you seem to think, no, I don't care if you're a wrestler or a show player. Great for you. If you got a good house, that's good. If you got a good kin, that's great. But to believe that the whole world is angry at you for what you have and what they don't have, Ms., I think that's kind of a bad mindset, a bad stand to have. Yes, there's haters out there, but to think that everyone is angry at you for something that you have that they don't have is a wrong way to think. And I don't think Astronomer has anything against you for being a wrestler, being a show player, being a husband, being a father, or having a house, or any of those other stuff. I think it's all about your behavior, your stand, and your mindset. Oh, is that so, Renee Young? Is that so? Well, I know I shouldn't talk to someone like you, because you're on Astronomer's side. You're on Corone's side. Well, that's my talk with the Miz. Back to you, Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with the Miz here today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Tonight Raw. And it looks like it is all the time we got here for a Monday Night Raw or Alone Tonight Raw. I am Tony Schiavone for Trini Kwan and Corey Graves. We hope you like Monday Night Raw or Alone Tonight Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.